All right, I want to give you two different versions. Paddy the Baddy, Cyril Gane. I want to give you two different, and most recent, by the way. Paddy the Baddy's most recent media appearance, Cyril Gane's most recent media appearance. Paddy the Baddy. I want to fight Ilya whenever, wherever. I'd love to come to Bernabeu. Bernabeu. How are we saying that, guys? All right. And punch you right in your face. Let's do it in Spain, in front of your fake countrymen, because you're all really German. I'd love to come punch your face in front of 90,000 people in the Bernabeu, enemy territory for me, because the Bernabeu is a crap hole. Slight word change there. All right, now we got Cyril Gane. Tom Aspinall is the new generation. He's a tough guy. He's a really good fighter. He's well-rounded. He's a good fighter. I'm also a good fighter. It's going to be a beautiful matchup. He's going to have his tactics, and I'm going to have mine, so I can't wait. I'm really excited for this challenge. Which of those do you personally find to be more interesting? And Cyril's in an interesting place. Cyril's in an interesting place where when I come out and I critique his efforts in the media, I am right. But how on earth do I win him over? How? He's main evented more shows than you could dream of. He's fought for more championships that I can't keep track. Whatever night he won the interim belt, then when he fought Derek Lewis, there was an interim belt on the line, but I could be remembering it wrong, and that's where he actually won the interim belt. Either way, he takes said belt into a fight with Francis. So, I mean, we're already at 3 world titles, unless I possibly combine to 2. You then go into Jon Jones, of which I don't believe he brought any kind of a belt because he would have lost it to Francis, but that was for a belt. In fact, Jon left with it. Now he's got another title fight, and this one is undisputed. Forget it. I mean, I'm at 5 and admitting that I could have lost track, which means maybe this is his 4th, but maybe it's his 6th. How do I convince a guy that he doesn't have a very good understanding of what he's doing? How do I do that? Meanwhile, you got Paddy the Baddy that's doing everything right, and he is yet to fight for a title. Okay. But you still see where Paddy's is very interesting. You see where Paddy's is very fascinating. You see where you would love a response from Paddy's opponent, who happens to be Ilia Topuria, and you see where Ciryl didn't really make a statement that left Tom with an ability to respond. Ciryl put out some compliments, and they made everything neutral. By example, when he says, Tom's a really good fighter, and I'm a really good fighter. All right, we're at neutral. There was no claim here. There was no boast. Tom is going to have his tactics, and I am going to have mine. Again, we're back to square even. There's not a lot of room for back and forth, and there's not a lot of room to convince Ciryl, who's done everything right, and he's got a good fan base, and he's making plenty of money. Like, there's just not really room to convince him there's another way. All right.
What's your advice for fighters, Chael?
Well, I then want to just look at Paddy's, and I want to share with you more of a different game that Paddy's playing. Now, what I love about this wasn't the hype that Paddy's building towards his fight with Ilia Topuria. Don't forget, guys, he doesn't have one. It's the overarching point here. Ciryl with very little, and he's got this world title fight coming up. Paddy with a whole lot. Not to mention everything behind it, not to mention the face-off, right, that was seen around the world. Back up from that, the original incident that kicks things off between these two boys. Back when Paddy was the bigger star, Ilia was just up and coming, and most of you couldn't pronounce the word Topuria, and this is the water bottle incident. Okay. What I take from this, and I want you to really see from this, because this is a very special thing, which is how hungry Paddy is. Paddy doesn't have the fight. Paddy wants the fight. And behind the character and behind the gimmick sits a dirty, rotten cage fighter that once was a young boy who had a dream. And he hasn't lost sight of that. The fact that Paddy is going after Ilia in this way does let us know, as the viewer, that fight's not done. Now, I believed that Paddy was going to get the fight when I saw them face off. But Dana came in and said, hey, you got to pretend you didn't see that. I had left. I wouldn't have even let that happen. So we put a little bit of cold water on it, and I thought that was a message to bring us back to the idea that we're going to go with the original plan, which was Tsarukyan. But Tsarukyan is booked to Ben Dan Hooker, which was not a fight that any of us saw coming, and all of us greatly welcome, but it still leaves two players on the board, Paddy the Baddy and Justin Gaethje. And this is when things get fun, because now you have a fight. You have a fight between Paddy the Baddy and Justin Gaethje, and they don't have to get in the ring to do it. They're fighting for you guys. They're fighting for what's known as the mandate of the masses. And whoever ultimately wins the mandate of the masses gets the fight. Before you get into rankings, before you get into titles, before you get who deserves what, whoever comes with the mandate of the masses gets the title fight. And it's an interesting battle, Paddy versus Gaethje. One of the reasons it's interesting is this is not a game that Gaethje's afraid to play. As a matter of fact, Gaethje played this game and won. He played this game against Islam. Justin Gaethje, Madison Square Garden, getting ready to walk out against Michael Chandler. This is for the #1 contendership. Issue: Daniel Cormier is on the mic informing the world, and Islam is Daniel's teammate, and Daniel was on the side of Islam, and that's a very powerful thing. Well, Justin called it out. Justin called it out. Daniel Cormier, you were the announcer. You need to call this straight. This is my night. You're talking about Islam. He's not even here. I'm about to fight Michael Chandler. This is for the championship. And Gaethje does a great job. And by the way, he gets the jump on Chandler at the Garden. He got an apology from Daniel Cormier, and it led to a bout agreement to fight for the championship of the world. Like, these fights in the media are very real. Gaethje has yet to play this against Paddy specifically. And Paddy, while battling Gaethje, has yet to mention Gaethje by name. So there's something about these guys that I believe, not only do they think that they qualify for a title fight, not only do they want the title fight very bad, they're not as interested in fighting each other. Usually that's where it would go. This guy thinks he should get a title, and I think I should get a title. Well, then I'm going to show you head to head, and that's not what's happening here. It's something else, and it's something very interesting. And I really do appreciate knowing this about Paddy the Baddy. I appreciate knowing how badly he wants this fight. I appreciate knowing that he's willing to go out. He's now taken on an entire country. He just called out the entire country of Spain. Now, he did that tactically. He doesn't believe that they're Germans, and he doesn't believe that this arena is a dump. He's trying to get these people to go to their guy, and get their guy to go to the UFC and make the bout. It's very simple math, but it's a little bit complicated about how you get there, and Paddy has done everything right. I love the statement. I love the reasoning and the passion behind the statement, and I do think that you guys at times are not quite on board with the fact that Paddy the Baddy, which we all thought was a shtick, myself included, we all thought was going to be geographically a guy that can sell some tickets in a certain area. It turns out is now 7-0. He is now ranked in the top 10. He now has the attention of the world champion. There is nothing about Paddy that's a gimmick. And I feel that this interview, while it's going to entertain you, you might lose the real message, which is he wants something. He wants it badly. He wants it enough that he's willing to go out there and fight for it.